Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 47 of the J Situation Podcast. I'm recording this on January 26th, 2021. How you folks doing? Man, this week is so freaking crazy busy. It's insane. But I do hope that you're all fully back in the swing of things after the holidays and you're all doing well. I have to say, though, GameStop. Have you? Some of you are like, what are you talking about? Are any of you guys holding positions in that stock right now? And just for the record, it is 9:30 p.m. Central Time, January 26th, 2021. And for posterity, I'm noting the timestamp because that stock right now, you're actually witnessing something. It's you'll have to read about it. I know you don't want to hear about the stock market right now from me on this podcast, but what's going on right now has less to do with GameStop and more to do with the way investment works. Both institutional investors and retail investors and the powers that each of them have, how the balance of power is somewhat shifting due to the availability of information and knowledge. And so I don't know. I just wanted to mention it. Look, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any positions in the stock right now. I have to admit, I did get into a position last week. I am not a day trader though. And so, I saw what was going on. I had some money in a tax advantaged account. I said, you know what? I can make a quick buck off of this. I know exactly what's going to happen. So I was like, well, let me do that. So I took a conservative position in it at the end of last week. And then over the weekend, I saw, over a 50% return. And I was like, oh my God. And so then in pre-market Monday, I had a lot of stuff to do. I had a lot of stuff to do this week. I didn't have time to sit here like a lunatic and watch the stock market and have anxiety. I'm a busy guy. So due to the volatility that I observed and due to my own personal risk tolerance, I did sell in pre-market on Monday and I cashed out. So don't hate me if you're following this right now. You probably yelling at me for it. But hey, we all have our own risk tolerance. We all have our own personal investment philosophies. I saw today it was over $200 a share after Elon Musk tweeted about it after hours. he tweeted GameStonk. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is epic. So insane. I thought it was so crazy. So when I saw that, I was like, nice. That's nice. So to all of you that are still holding, Godspeed, and I hope you make some sweet tendies. The J Situation Podcast, as always, is brought to you by PEW Science, pushing the silencer industry forward one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating, the simplest and the most accurate hearing-safe ratings for your suppressed small arms. The suppression rating is in Section 5 of the Silencer Sound Standard. The standard is on the website. It walks you through gunshot noise, sort of like Wikipedia, but it's cooler because it's about silencers. I mean, why wouldn't it be? There are now 7 parts in the standard for you to read. They're all on the website there. If you haven't even seen this before and you're like, what is he talking about? It's cool. Go to the website, go to Silencer Sound Standard. You can go to Section 5. That's the suppression rating. It lets you know how silencers stack up in comparison to one another with regard to sound at the muzzles and the shooter's ear. That's a good place to start if you don't want to, if you just want to know, like, well, how loud is stuff? It's like, okay, we'll go there, learn what the suppression rating is. And you'll find that not only does it let you compare the silencers, but it gives you a hearing safe dose limit for the particular platform on which the silencers are tested. And it gives you that limit at the muzzle and the ear, so it's for shooters and bystanders. It's pretty cool. Okay, you're not going to find this information anywhere else in the world. We're pretty hard to get to you here and organize it for you, and I think you're going to like it. Now, if you look at
section 6, that's where all the reviews are. So, if you want to dig down and look at the silencer you're interested in, that's what that's what those are. You know what? We just made it easier for you there. If you don't even want to look at the reviews, and you're like, Jay, just give me the bottom line of sound. Just let me know what the quietest thing is. Okay. New section. Section 7, PEW Science rankings. You go there. There's a table. You can sort it. You can look at all the data all at once. That way, you set up your personal tolerance for your desired parameters. And then when you see something you like, there's links there in the rankings table, and that'll take you back to the detailed review, and you can dig deeper if you want. Okay? So yeah, that's all the public data is right there for you. Now, if you are a manufacturer and you would like to use PEW Science for private testing, for example, or maybe consulting services, there is a form on the website with which you can submit that inquiry, your contact information, and all the test data, and any other things we generate as part of any type of contractual agreement would, of course, be held in strict confidence, so don't you worry about that. Your data is your data. You own that data. You do with it what you want. And if you want, you can even have us publish it. You don't have to, but if you want to, if you want a platform to show the world your stuff, you think people will like it, PEW Science will certainly publish it. We have no problem doing that. I will definitely do that for you if you like. I will put a disclaimer in it showing that it was part of a paid effort, so everyone knows everything's on the up and up. But yeah, you can go on the website right now. You can see a couple of those so far have already been published. More are coming soon. I think I might even release another one of those next week. I don't, not from that effort, but from a different manufacturer. I'm thinking about it. We're talking. Kind of try to schedule some stuff, but I think you guys might see more of that very soon, sooner than I thought. So yeah. Go check that out, pewscience.com. You can support this podcast, PEW Science, and our testing by joining at pewscience.com with a membership, if you want. But if you don't want to, dude, don't. It's fine. Reviews are free. You can see the reviews for free. You get more data if you're a member, but hey, you just want the bottom line suppression rating, you can get that for free. It's all there. Now, if you don't want to help monetarily, totally understandable, especially in this economy. You just go spread the word. Let people know what we're doing. Write the podcast, share the data, talk about it. Hey, it all helps. And I see you guys doing that all the time. I tell you what, this last week on social media, you guys went a little ham. It's cool. It's all good publicity, I think. Okay. But in all seriousness, when you guys spread the word, to the gun community, and even to the community that may not understand silencers, maybe the larger firearm community doesn't even understand silencers. That's probably true. You go and you let them know about this. Man, the more people that know about silencers, the better. You don't want to keep this stuff a secret, man. You want this to grow. The stronger we are, the better chance we have of success. Okay, as a firearm community, I believe that. Okay. Got 5 topics for you today. Topic 1, Sound Signature Review 632, the YHM Resonator K on Supersonic 308. Yeah, we released that last week. We'll talk about that. Topic 2, Member Research Supplement 633. Hunting silencer first round pop? Oh my God. Yeah, man. That's some member research for you guys. Well, Tom, I'll give you a little bit of something to talk a little bit about that. Talk to you guys a little bit about that in this episode. Topic 3, Internet and social media backpressure wars. Save yourself. Don't be a casualty. We'll talk backpressure. Topic 4, silencer mounts. Can they influence backpressure? Oh my God, I almost had a heart attack this week talking with a guy about it. We'll talk about that, topic 4. Topic 5, welcome to new PEW Science members. Thank you for your support. Okay, we're going to get started here. Topic 1, at a time of 9 minutes and 48 seconds. 9 minutes, Jesus. What am I doing? Too much time. Okay, topic 1. Man, dang, the Resonator K. Resonator K on Supersonic 308. Sound signature review 632. Oh my goodness. I'm getting a drink of water. Prepare for this. Okay. Oh, man. I have to say, I was a little surprised here. I was. I have to say, the Resonator K did better on Supersonic 308 than I thought it was going to do. When you first pick up this silencer without a mount assembly screwed into the rear of it, you're like, dang, man, like that's small. That's a small silencer, you know? And there's no way that it's going to be anywhere close to quiet. There's no way. Like, I mean, seriously, like that's what goes through your head. Like that's kind of how I felt when I picked it up. Okay? Okay. And to be clear, before we get carried away here with hyperbole, to be clear, this is not a quiet silencer. Well, you thought I was going to say it was quiet. It's not quiet. You saw the data. It's not quiet. It's loud. But it's less loud than I thought it would be. Okay? It is less loud than I thought it would be. And that's why, what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to tell you. We'll get into the numbers and stuff in a second. But right now, you need to realize this is a very important application of the silencer sound standard. Peak decibels are so misleading. They really don't tell you a lot. You really don't have a feel for them. Like this is really one of those times which actually these times are becoming increasingly numerous. This is one of those times when I say, thank goodness we have the suppression rating. Thank goodness. Okay, like this is important. So this is a silencer for which you have now seen 300 blackout subsonic test data and supersonic 308 test data. So now you have two extremes of flow velocity through the silencer, two extremes of cartridge power. Subsonic 300 blackout is it's almost like the combustion energy of a 9mm pistol cartridge. Kinda. It's very similar. I mean, it's not quite. Sorta, kinda. Sort of the same order of magnitude, let's say, okay? Now, then you have 7.62 NATO, which is like, whoa, it's crazy. We're on a rocket. You know, it's a crazy different. Subsonic 300 blackout to supersonic 7.62 NATO. Come on, man. Come on. So you got two extremes in your data collection now for this silencer, pewscience.com. So on the first extreme, the subsonic 300 blackout test previously shown in Sound Signature Review 6.30 there on the website, the silencer got an overall suppression rating of 40.9. That rating on the Q Minifix, which is an 8-inch 300 blackout bolt gun, is broken down into 39.6 at the ear and 33.8 at the muzzle. I'm pretty sure I scrawled those numbers. I scrolled those numbers down. I'm scared I'm gonna tell you wrong, and then you're gonna be listening to this, and then you're gonna remember it. It's gonna be a whole problem. Hold on a second. Pulling up the review. What did I just say? Yeah, 39.6 at the ear and 33.8 at the muzzle. Okay, I was right. Yeah. Okay. So, at the ear on that gun, with subsonic ammo, you're almost hitting 40. On that mini fix, a little small bolt gun, you're almost hitting 40 at the ear. Okay. Now first round pop's a different story. But we're talking 40 is the average ear rate. Okay, we're 40. Okay. So okay, the frames this for you. All right. So now let's look at the suppression rating for the supersonic 308 test. Okay, 27.4. Yeah, dropped a lot. Yeah. Went from 40.9 to 27.4. Yeah, dropped a category. Actually, two categories. For being technical, here 40. 40.9 composite rating. You're up in the moderate suppression, the limited practice there. Yeah, 27.4. You're in the loud zone. Okay, yeah, it dropped. Yeah, it dropped because supersonic 308 is going to do that. Okay, even on a 20-inch barrel, it's going to be louder. Okay, 27.4. That's 27 flat at the ear, 27.0 at the ear, and then 14.1 at the muzzle. Whoa. Yeah, you betcha. You betcha. Folks standing adjacent to the muzzle, they're going to hear some boom. They're going to hear that boom on this silencer. That is a loud muzzle report. Tell you what. But you already knew that. I just told you earlier it was loud. Okay, so now, if you want to look at the peak decibels too, you can. It's all there on the website. They're in the review, and the members see them at the ear, all that good stuff. Now, on average, this thing is almost 152 decibels at the muzzle, guys. That's pretty significant. But this is important. It is not as loud as the Sandman K. And that's kind of crazy. It's something worth talking about. It is something worth talking about, I think. Now, if you're looking at the review, Sound Signature Review 632, if you scroll down to Figure 7, scroll all the way down to Figure 7 there, you can see a comparison there, and the Resonator K is sitting in there in the same chart with the Sandman K, and you can see the suppression rating data also in the ranking section. If it's too cumbersome to go to the review and scroll down and all that stuff, you can go if you like to compare things. You can go to section 7 now in the ranking section. You can scroll to the table, and the table it'll show you there everything together. Now, I'm mentioning the Figure 7 because it also has the back pressure metrics in there, and it has colors, so it's visual. I know there's a lot of visual people, so I'm a very visual person. I like graphics to explain the relationships in data. I find that to be helpful, and so that's one of the reasons why I have so many graphs, because I believe that I could just put numbers, but it would be not helpful or as helpful because it doesn't give you a spatial relationship. So check out Figure 7. Resonator K slightly quieter than the Sandman K, both the muzzle and the ear. It does have a higher back pressure, though, compared to the Sandman K. It does, according to the back pressure metric there. The website. That's what I calculated there, and that makes sense. We'll talk about why that actually might not even matter to you later in this episode. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. We are going to talk about that today. Oh man! So you're decreasing the number of baffles when compared to the Sandman S, for example. You got the Sandman S. It's sitting right there on the table next to the Resonator K. The reason why it's sitting right there next to the Sandman or next to the Resonator K. Because it was the next. Did I sort? I might not have sorted it, but it's in the group of not compact, but mid-size. So it's on the chart with it. It's right there. I want you guys to get a feeling when you see these results come out and you have them in a vacuum. It's kind of hard to understand, but when you see them related to each other, which is one of the reasons why the suppression rating is cool, you can be like, I can compare that to apples. I'm like, yeah, you can. That's what it's for. Okay? So you're decreasing the number of baffles from a Sandman S, and you're getting a louder silencer with lower back pressure. Seems reasonable. And then you have one more baffle than the Sandman K, and you get a silencer that's quieter with a little higher back pressure. Seems reasonable. Okay, everything's jiving. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. The data is pretty straightforward to me, actually. This is not surprising now that I'm looking at it. The baffles in the silencers are similar. The Resonator K does have a completely different blast baffle, and it's perforated. That is a difference. There are different silencers, but the performance comparisons of these silencers seems to agree with the physical differences. Okay, very reasonable answers. Okay, there's nothing out of the ordinary that I'm seeing here.
There isn't anything popping out to say, oh, that's a weird thing. Yeah. So after looking at all the data and the characteristics of the silencer, I guess my initial surprise kind of went away. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, that's what we're doing. Why we're doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, like, no, that totally makes sense. Like, okay, so this is important. If you just look at a silencer without knowing much about it, you're really not going to get a feel for how it's going to perform. Okay? A lot of you may be listening and you're looking at silencers and you're not knowing anything about them. So how in the world are you going to know how it performs? That's like buying a car, looking at a car, and you say to yourself, is that good for rally racing? And you're like, sir, that's a minivan. And you're like, oh, I wasn't even looking at the fact that it was a minivan. I just thought because it had four wheels, it was going to be a good rally racer. Like, sir, you might need to go into the Subaru. Say, Subaru? Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, I don't know where I'm going with that. What I'm trying to say, it's important to look at stuff. This is actually one of those times. This is one of those times where you might have been able to guess the suppression rating for this review if you did your due diligence on the silencer characteristics, maybe. Well, okay, except for the perforated blast baffle. That's a little weird. I actually didn't know what was going to happen with that. So not sure exactly what would happen if you changed that. Actually, if you change that blast baffle, I think maybe it would either be louder or higher back pressure or both. It could be higher back pressure and louder, I think. I wonder if, I bet YHM experimented with that. I just haven't talked to him about that. I need to talk to Kevin at YHM. He's a good dude. He and his brother are good dudes. I need to talk to him about that. That's interesting. Anyway, I tell you what, this silencer is much different than the Sandman K. And overall, I think, like for a very small 30 caliber silencer, for an economical and durable option, like let's be honest, it's pretty durable. I mean, it's got an Inconel blast back. You're not going to break the Resonator K. I think you could do worse. You could definitely do worse than the Resonator K. I mean, I think the data shows that, right? So there you go. There's the data for you. I hope you find it useful. Those of you who use this silencer kind of see where it stacks up. You kind of see where it fits to the market. Those of you who have one pending, those of you who have one pending, you know what to expect right now. And those of you who are on the fence, well, maybe this helps you understand the performance well enough to help decisions you may be working through in your mind or at the moment. You've seen it on Subsonic 300 Blackout. You've seen it on Supersonic 308. So now you have a lot of comparison points, for the silencer to other stuff. You're kind of getting you're getting your bearing, for lack of a better term, right? You're getting your bearing. Now remember though, this silencer does work with a bunch of different mounts, like if you're into that, and like you can use different mounts on the rear. So now there's something important to talk about. You may need to be cognizant that it might change the back pressure. I've been speaking to some folks recently about this, and we're going to hit that discussion later in this episode, okay? This is important. If I didn't think it was important, I wouldn't be telling you about it, all right? So we'll hit that later. All right, let's go ahead and move into topic 2. Topic 2 at a time of 24 minutes and 11 seconds. Okay. Member Research Supplement 633. Hunting silencer first round pop. Let me go ahead and I'm actually going to go to the website here, pewscience.com. I'm going to click on the member review here. Just so I have it in front of me in case I forget something cool to tell you about. Okay, man. You Pew Science members got a treat last week, I tell you what. I think you did. It was a treat for me to write it because I did the analysis, and it was a treat to learn what I learned. And I did it because I thought it was important for me. And if it was important for me, it was important for you. This research, although is not super huge, I think is important for the industry overall. The PEW Science members are the only ones who have it right now. That's just how it is. And I think that that's just what you guys get for supporting PEW Science. So for you members who have not had a chance to check it out, I urge you to do so. I think you will find it informative. I think the first chart, figure 1, which shows the first round pop of all the silencers in the group, is a very useful chart. I did this article for folks that are primarily concerned with the first shot out of a silencer. Usually that's hunters. So here we are. Okay. I think that's something that folks, I think overall can agree is important for a hunting silencer. I spoke about that a little bit 2 episodes ago on episode 45. I think it was, episode 45. I talked about that. I spoke about some of the traits that one might look for in a hunting rifle silencer, and first round pop performance, if one is concerned with sound at all, was on the list because most folks are only shooting 1 shot when they're hunting. Okay, like most folks. Okay, so for most folks that are hunting, that first shot's what counts. It is. It really is, and a lot of times. Those hunters that, and I'm a hunter, a lot of times you're not wearing hearing protection or you don't want to wear hearing protection. That's the reality. And although we know it's good to wear hearing protection when firing weapons, hunters seldom do. They seldom do. And when they hunt with silencers, the frequency of wearing hearing protection drops even more. Okay? It really does. And this is real talk, okay? This is reality. All right? This is the real use cases from real users. Now, I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty details about this research. That's for membership supporters. Like that, this is a member thing. Like, I'm sorry, like I give you guys so much free stuff. This is not free. But I will say the results indicate that first round pop can be vastly different for hunting silencers, and some people might even hear a bigger difference than the rating shows. We explore in the article, we explore inner ear response in the full loudness spectrum. Okay. And we compare what your ear is likely to interpret as louder or quieter at the muzzle and the shooter's ear. So for bystanders and shooters, understand? So I am really pleased to be able to offer you this type of analysis. I really hope it helps you. I know some folks really think some of this is too technical, and it does overwhelm some of you, and I understand that. And that's okay, and that's because it's complicated. And sometimes I don't do the best of explaining it. But the good part about that is that if you ever have a question, you can email me and I will answer you. I will do my best to explain what's going on. I'll do my best to help you understand. So I hope you know that I'm here for you when you need me to do that. I think on this one, I think I did a better job explaining things because I used a different type of chart too. I think it helped. I got some good feedback on that from members. They said that they appreciated it. And I said, you're welcome. And I'm glad it's helping. And if you have any other feedback, I would be happy to hear it so that I can improve and get better. Okay. So overall, I will tell you that for all of you that have listened to this podcast for a minute or two, when I changed my hunting silencer from the Rugged Radiant on my 16-inch 308 to the Hyperion K, there was a reason. There was a reason I did. And I knew that reason before I even did the article, before I did the first round pop in-depth analysis, the detailed FRP analysis. Before I did that, I knew because I shot the silencers and I had the overall suppression ratings. So I knew, okay? I knew the Hyperion K was going to be quieter. I just didn't know how much quieter. I didn't know if it was going to be quieter enough. quieter enough. It sounds weird. But the results in this article show that, boy, was I correct. At least on the 20-inch. On the 20-inch 308 bolt action at the shooter's ear, I was correct. I was definitely correct. And, this article also shows that the Helios QD, like when the Helios QD is offered in titanium, it is probably going to be one of the most popular silencers based on pure performance and versatility, I think. In my opinion, in my consumer opinion, I think that, knowing what I know about it, how I've tested it, according to my data, if you can deal with the weight, the Inconel version, the steel version, it's the same as the titanium one, and it's bomb-proof. The Inconel one, it's heavy, but you also cannot break it with any use that I can think of, except misuse. Like if you shot the middle of it, or you know what I mean, if it came off your gun somehow. Like if you put it in your gun and you shoot it like on a belt-fed weapon, you're not gonna break it. Like you're just not. And so I will take this opportunity to say that if you had one rifle silencer, only one, just one, the Helios QD that's out right now, that steel one, the Inconel one, would be something you could probably use and be happy with for every rifle. I think, like 30 caliber and lower. I mean, if you could deal with the weight, like I honestly think that. I mean, it's not the quietest rifle silencer, because we already know that's the Hyperion. We tested that. That's the quietest silencer PEW Science has tested. Quietest rifle silencer we've tested. I've tested. But I think the Helios QD fits in a region of performance that I don't know, like if you only had one, right? If you could only pick one for everything, like, put it on everything, like SBRs and hunting rifles and 300 blackout and blah, 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 I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like everyone asks me like, well, I only want one rifle silencer. Like, which one should I get? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you anything, man. I don't want to tell you what to buy. And I'm just saying, like, I think the Helios QD is cool. I think it's a strong statement, what I just said. I think it's a strong statement that I'm saying that it would be a good single-use silencer. I think that's a pretty big thing to say. But I will say, a caveat that with, like, I do not care what you buy. Like, don't buy it. Like, throw it in the trash. I don't care. But what I'm saying is that the research that I just did with this first round pop showed me again just what kind of technology we're dealing with, man. If the first round pop of the Helios is still hanging with the Omega, then okay. I mean, look at the length of the silencer. I mean, what do you want? The versatility. I mean, it's just I don't know. That's the technology we're dealing with. It's what impresses me. Again, when I am super honest with you guys, like I really am. Like I'm just saying what I like as a consumer. You got to remember, I am a gun guy. If I wasn't running PEW Science, I'd probably still be testing these silencers, and you just wouldn't have the data, and I would, and and I'd still buy the best for myself just because that's what I do. So anyway, I hope you members use this as a good tool. Maybe not even as a purchase tool. Maybe you're using it as a tool of understanding. Maybe it's showing you what can happen when your hearing is damaged, what frequency regions might be damaged in your hearing, so your ear might not respond, so you might hear a silencer differently. I mean, the research helps you understand that. Maybe you wanted to know, hey, I do kind of want something for hunting, and I have a couple silencers. I wonder which one is better, and how much better is it? Is it worth moving from this silencer to this silencer, or should I just get, something else that's going to be way better than all the other ones, or, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you guys are really using the data. I kind of have an idea, but I don't know what every individual is really looking at. So whatever way you're using it, I hope you're getting the use out of it that you want to get out of it. Okay. That is all for that topic. I'm going to go ahead and move into topic 3 at a time of 35 minutes and 27 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Topic 3. Oh, boy. Oh, so many people ask me to talk about this on the podcast. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, my God. Okay, excuse me. Okay. Internet and social media backpressure wars. I don't want you to be a casualty. I don't. This was insane this past week. What is it, Tuesday now? Okay, was that? Okay, Monday. Was it Monday? It was this weekend. It had to be. Yeah. Okay, so. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we all know that the silencer world is filled with a lot of strong personalities. Okay, the firearm world. Let me rephrase that. The firearm world is filled with a lot of strong personalities. I don't think anyone is going to argue this at all. I really don't. The decibel wars in the silencer world, the decibel wars many years ago, if you were around for those, they come up again every few years. But there was nothing like about a decade or so ago. That was when the decibel wars were really, really heating up, when the technology was really getting more developed. Yeah. But right now, we're not talking about that. For some reason, right now, backpressure is on everyone's mind. Yeah. So much so that I started computing what I call the backpressure metric in the 308 supersonic reviews that I've been showing you on the website. In every one, I've been computing this metric. Okay. The backpressure metric, is meant to give you a postulated empirical relation of backpressure or flow restriction for rifle silencers. So when you put them on a semi-automatic or fully automatic host weapon, you can know what to expect with your weapon function, okay, and therefore tune the weapon accordingly. Okay, that's what the backpressure metric is for. For silencer enthusiasts, you all understand that all silencers that perform relatively well in sound performance exhibit some level of backpressure. Okay, it's a consequence of trapping gas. We trap gas, which slows the flow rate. And this reduction in flow velocity raises the pressure in the pseudo-closed system. Okay, when I say pseudo-closed system, I mean the time regime of gas fill related to the volume over the time period of impulse duration is short. Okay, it's a technical way of saying, the fast way to say that is it's a pseudo-closed system dynamically. Okay. Let me back up. Let me repeat what I just said. We trap gas, which slows the flow rate, and the reduction in flow velocity raises the pressure in the pseudo-closed system for a brief period of time. Okay? When it does that, it imparts more impulse into the reciprocating system of the weapon. Okay? This sounds complicated, but it's not. It's really not. This is not complicated. It's something we have been dealing with since silencers were invented, okay? We're going to talk about this now. Now, a lot of you know that there are some silencer companies that market their products to have reduced back pressure when compared to other silencers. Okay. And sometimes they even say that their silencers have no back pressure. That is most likely intended to mean that if you put their silencer on a semi-automatic rifle, for example, the flow restriction of the silencer is so low that the weapon function is not noticeably influenced to the shooter. Okay, that's most likely what they intend to say when they say that. Okay, that when they say their silencer doesn't have any back pressure, that's really what they're saying. Okay, that's what they're saying. Now, there have been a lot of very big media personalities in the gun community touting the benefits of such silencers. And that is totally understandable. Yeah, this is easy to understand. These media personalities, they have marketing agreements with certain brands, whether that be for silencers or camo gear or holsters or knives or flashlights, whatever you want to talk about. The companies give them free products or money and whatever. And in return, these folks say nice things about the products, and that's what influencer marketing is. Okay, that is what that is. It's not a secret. Nobody's surprised. That's how it works. Okay, and I'm not here to criticize it. Not here to say it's bad, say it's good. It is what it is. Okay, it's not going away. It happens in a lot of industries. It's not just firearms. This isn't just guns. You think guns and silencers are the only thing that have influence in marketing? Man, you ever bought a pair of basketball shoes? Come on, man. You think this is a game? Well, it is a game. It's marketing. Okay. Just a marketing thing, man. It's not going anywhere. So you're just gonna need to learn how to navigate it. Okay? And the only way to navigate around marketing obstacles is to be educated and know what you're reading when you read it. Okay, so there is absolutely no doubt that certain silencers reduce back pressure when compared with other silencers. You can test this very simply all by yourself. Dude, you don't even need a test lab for this. Okay, I'm going to talk about two cases right now. I'm going to go real thorough because I want to make sure you learn it. And that way, you don't even need me. You can go and someone talks to you and throws mess about something. You can be like, well, that's not true because that's not how this works. And you're like, I know. I did it myself. So, first test. 9mm silencer back pressure. Take a semi-automatic MP5 or MP5 clone. Okay? And if you're not that fancy, just get a regular blowback 9mm. Okay? A blowback 9mm carbine. I'm not talking about a pistol, like a handgun. Okay, I'm talking about shoulder fire weapon, right? Okay. Fired unsuppressed. 9mm, unsuppressed. Note the ejection pattern of the brass. Okay. You did that? Good. Okay, come back here. Listen to this more. Put your 9mm silencer on the gun. Okay. Fire the weapon. Notice how the brass ejected further? That's right. That's because the bolt kinematics changed. The pressure time curve in the barrel was shaped differently, and the area under the curve, or the impulse, was higher earlier in time. So the gun either unlocked early and got going faster because it was so spurred on by the continuous higher impulse, or it unlocked at the normal time and it got pushed faster when it unlocked because the impulse still hadn't dropped low enough for normal ejection. Okay, that's the physics of that. Super simple. It's actually really simple. It's very simple. It's literally called simple blowback. MP5 is a roller delay, but we can talk about why that matters. But right now, focus on what I just said. Okay. It applies to both. You can try this at home. It's super simple. Everyone with a silencer and an MP5 has done it, so you can do it too. Now, second test. Rifle silencer back pressure. Take a semi-automatic AR-15. This is a more complicated test than the simple blowback test. Why? It's more complicated because we are what is called gas operated now. Not in the pure sense. Okay, in the pure sense, all firearms are gas operated because they shoot a projectile that's pushed by expanding gas. Okay, that's what a firearm is. Now, the AR-15 is gas operated in that there is a gas port drilled in the top of the barrel forward of the chamber at a length dictated by the gas system length of your particular weapon, okay? And that port, that little port, that hole, that vents gas into a gas tube to travel back and facilitate bolt carrier unlocking, or, it vents it into a piston assembly to cause a piston to impart the gas momentum onto the bolt carrier to cause unlocking. Okay? Either way, we are now gas operated. Direct impingement with a gas tube or a piston, doesn't matter. They're both gas operated. These are both gas operated weapons. Make no mistake about it. Don't let anyone tell you different. These are both gas operated. Okay. Now, given that you now understand the mechanics, why is this different than a simple blowback gun when you add a silencer? Okay. Well, the key here is that gas-operated weapons depend on gas impulse to unlock the action. If you don't give them enough impulse, they won't unlock. And the action won't reciprocate, and you have a single-shot weapon, right? You following? Okay. So in the case of the 9mm blowback gun, you added a silencer, and what happened? Well, you trapped the gas in the barrel longer, and it unlocked the weapon earlier or made the bolt come back faster, or both, depending on if it's roller delayed blowback or rotationally delayed blowback, or if it's simple straight blowback. Same. All the same. Okay? All the same. Okay. With an AR-15, direct impingement or piston driven, both gas operated. If you add a silencer, you will also trap gas in the barrel longer. Just like 9mm, nothing's changed. Were you with me so far? Let me say that again. With an AR-15, direct impingement or piston driven, both gas operated. If you add a silencer, you will also trap gas in the barrel longer. Nothing has changed. This is a gun. Okay, cool. Silencer has a flow restriction. Flow restriction causes a back pressure. Impulse in barrel goes up. Got it. Super simple. You're tracking. Now, what happens when the weapon wants to unlock? Okay. Remember when the 9mm blowback weapon got enough impulse back through the barrel, it unlocked? There's nothing to keep it locked. Except for inertia. The MP5 has rollers. Rollers that interface with the trunnion and the receiver. It helps a lot to keep it locked longer. But some 9mm carbines are just straight blowback. Because that was easy, though. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You understand how that worked. Now, to unlock an AR-15, you have to have two things happen. You got to have two things happen to unlock an AR-15. Got two things have to happen. The first thing, you got to get pressure to the gas key on the carrier. And okay, you don't want to call it pressure, you piston guys. Cool, call it a force. You have to get piston force, which is a pressure. You have to get force on the carrier from your direct impingement gas or your piston. Okay, that's one. Second, two, you have to do it for a certain amount of time. What does pressure happening over a period of time mean? Impulse. You have to have a certain amount of impulse to unlock the weapon. You feel me? Okay, cool. Okay. So 9mm blowback unlock. Certain amount of impulse, easy to get it. AR-15 carrier impulse, also easy to get. But guess what? Now you can control it. So shoot your AR-15. Go shoot it. Unsuppressed brass ejects. Note the pattern. Cool. Put the silencer on. Shoot the gun. Note the ejection pattern. Was it more forceful? Well, depending on the silencer, yeah, it probably was. You might even have gotten what is called blowback through the ejection port when you shot it. This could have even happened to you on the 9mm blowback gun too. The reason for blowback is because there was still too much residual gas impulse at the time of unlocking. In other words, all that backed up gas in the barrel was sitting there to come out, but its pressure was so high when it unlocked that it was like, oh, cool, we leaving, fam? Dang, man, I didn't know it was time to leave. Dude, we can go out the back door too? Oh, dude, let's go. And there you go. That's what it does. It backs out. It comes out of the chamber. Blowback. Blowback from excessive back pressure. Okay. So now here's the thing that folks arguing about silencer back pressure miss. So many people miss this. I don't know why. Just explained it. It's right in front of you. The explanation I gave you is correct, and it's the only one they think they're using when they argue with you. A very popular YouTube personality just used the same argument on social media, and he said, all the gas comes down the barrel, so the weapon system doesn't matter. You have to have a silencer with low back pressure to avoid blowback. Okay. But as you just heard me say, that's clearly incorrect. Why? Why is it incorrect? Well, it's because the gas port on an AR-15 can be moved forward toward the muzzle, rearward toward the chamber, and it can even change size. That's right. You can literally move a gas port, and you can change the size too. Not only that, you can even add mass to the buffer. Not only that, you can even add a different cam path in the carrier and change the unlocking mechanics. So let me just list the things I just said. I just said, what can you do? Gas system length, gas port size, buffer weight, cam path length. Okay, four things. Four ways to literally shape. Like I wish I had a video element to this podcast. I'm holding my hands like I'm molding clay. Four ways to literally shape the pressure time curve that your carrier sees. Direct impingement or piston, I don't care. Forget it. Forget direct impingement versus piston for a second. It doesn't matter. What are we talking about? We're talking about the pressure time curve that your carrier sees. What is it seeing it from? A solid object hitting it, which is an impulsive load, or a gas duration impulse. They're different loads, but they're both time dependent. Impulse has a time component. That's why it's called impulse and not force. All right? Let's get science here, guys. I'm losing my mind. Okay, calm down. Okay. The longer you keep the system locked, the less the gas will come out when it unlocks because the pressure's lower in the barrel. That's all you got to know, dude. That's all you got to know. Gas flows due to pressure differential from your barrel. It doesn't flow for fun. There is no combustion anymore. You do not have combustion event happening anymore. All you have is an overpressure. So what's going to happen when it's exposed to atmosphere? It's going to want to go to atmosphere. Keep it closed. See what I mean? You have these four methods. So I'm going to end this topic for now. And I want you to think about those four things. What if you put the gas port further forward? Would that change the length of time the gas goes through the port after the bullet passes it, but before the bullet leaves the muzzle? Okay. What if the port area was smaller? All right. Would the flow rate change? If the port area was smaller, would the flow rate change? What if the buffer was heavier? Would it take a longer time to get it moving? What if the cam path changed? Could you possibly let the carrier travel further rearward before the bolt rotated and unlocked from the barrel extension? Would that give you more time for pressure to drop? The answers to all of those questions, guys, the answers to all of those questions is a resounding yes. Yes. And this is something that people who understand the AR-15 platform have been doing since Eugene Stoner was alive. Okay, this is not new at all. I am not the guy figuring this out, fam. Like this is not me. This is not Jay saying, oh yeah, I'm an expert on that. No, dude, this is like how the weapon works. Forever since it was made. That's how a AR-15 works. Like that's just how it is. Okay. Take a look at the photo I posted today with this episode. It's an M16. It's mine. I love it. It's transferable. It's great. It has a silencer on it. Okay, that silencer on that on there. That silencer has a flow restriction. Causes a flow restriction. It's a quiet silencer, so it traps gas. That's how you get a silencer to be quiet. You gotta trap that gas. Gotta keep that gas from getting to the atmosphere. Where do you put it? Well, you put it in the silencer. Yeah. It restricts flow. That silencer. That M16 is 11.5-inch barrel mid-length gas, superlative arms, adjustable gas block in restricted modes, open 6 or 7 clicks, no gas in the face, even in full auto. Okay. Go to my Instagram. Okay, or you guys too. Instagram, the J Situation on Instagram, or the PEW Science corporate Instagram is PEW Science LLC. You can go there. You watched the video I posted several weeks back. I posted a video of that gun, 2 full auto mag dumps in a row. Watch it over and over again. Watch it over and over and over and over and over. If that doesn't give you education about this whole back pressure argument, tech at pewscience.com, man. We'll talk about it. Remember, there are weapons that care about back pressure. But if you're into silencers, you're going to quickly realize that you don't care about those weapons because they're loud. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, moving to topic 4. At a time of 57 minutes and 27 seconds. Yeah. All right. Topic 4. Silencer mounts. Let's keep talking about back pressure. Why not? I'm upset. High blood pressure. It's fine. I'm gonna have a stroke. No, I'm just kidding. Strokes are bad. I'm healthy. I run. Silencer mounts. Can they influence back pressure? Yeah. I don't know. Holy crap, dude. This is actually a really crazy topic. This is something that guys, honestly, I did not think that this was going to be such a big deal. And it's sort of turning into one, and I'm a little glad, I'm a little happy about it. I am a little bit happy about it, but also I'm a little overwhelmed because it's going to be a lot of work to deal with. It really is. So, okay, guys, the reality is here. The reality is flow restriction is real, and we have to tune our guns. That's the reality. I just spoke about it for half an hour. Okay. But what if your flow gets restricted more than normal before the gas even has a chance to get that far into the silencer? What if you're cutting yourself off at the knees before you even get to really trap the gas? What if you're just slowing? What if you're restricting flow unintentionally and in a way that's just not efficient? Is it possible to do that? It's complicated, maybe. Apparently it might happen with some mounts. And look, and forget about silencers for a second. I want you to forget about the silencers. Think about muzzle brakes. Some of them are different. So, there are some muzzle brakes that create back pressure on a gun without a silencer mounted on it. I don't know if you know that, but that's true. So in hindsight, why the heck would we forget about this? Why would we forget about mounts when we talk about silencer back pressure? I don't know, man. For me, it's because there's a lot to talk about. Frankly, I'm admitting it to you. There's a lot to research and there's a lot of stuff. And I mean, that's why I'm doing this, to help the state of practice. So here we are. But I'm telling you, like, sometimes I'm going to miss stuff, dude. Like, sometimes I'm totally going to miss something. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm going to forget about, like, oh, I forgot to carry the one. Well, not like that, but like, I'm going to forget maybe something like this, like something that we need to think about, like another variable. And so I just wanted to bring this up in this podcast today because I think it's important and it's got me thinking. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to have to talk about it just I think to do my due diligence with you. There have been 2 cases so far that I want to bring to your attention. I want to preface this by saying that these were not tests done by me. They were not witnessed by me either. Therefore, I do reserve the right to tell you later that these people were full of it and they're lying. Okay? Like, I'm covering my butt right now. Okay? To be honest with you. But right now, I am not seeing, like right now, I have to be honest, I am not seeing any reason to doubt their information. So I'm going to allow it. And I am going to share it with you. And I know this is risky. But I also feel that if I give you this information and you have similar information, and you hear this and you reach out to me to confirm it, it's going to help us understand together. Because I can't talk to all of you all the time. Okay, and if you hear this and you have something that contradicts what I'm about to tell you, tell me, please, God, tell me. Just email tech@pewscience.com and tell me, because I need to know. And this is my philosophy. I listen to people, and this is the difference between what I'm doing and what you're going to see with these. And look, when I say this, I'm not bad mouthing them, but I'm saying what they do. These influencer guys, man, these marketer guys, they might have really good intentions. And some of them, actually, I know some of these guys, they're awesome. Like, they're called influencers because they have a lot of influence, but like a lot of them are super solid people and they're super cool. But like some of them, man, they don't have your best intentions at heart. And it's like they don't care about what you know or anything. So like, you need to be careful out there, man. There's a lot of stuff, and like I don't want you guys to get steered wrong. So all right, so let me talk about these 2 cases, and if you guys have similar cases like this, well, reach out to me and we can talk about it more. And if you think it's wrong, then tell me. So first case, cherry bomb, Q cherry bomb. A guy had a resonator K, topical, right? We just talked about the resonator K. The guy used a cherry bomb. And when I say he used a cherry bomb with a resonator K, that meant that he used a Plan B mount, which is Q's name for their universal mount that fits in the back of the Omega. Okay, that's okay. If you're confused about that, like, how did he use a cherry bomb? He used a cherry bomb because he used a third-party mount on a silencer, YHM. Okay, YHM doesn't make the cherry bomb. They don't make the Plan B. Q does. So this guy did that. He put them together, and then he used a different mount. I don't know what the mount was that he used, the other one, but he said that he got more back pressure with the Plan B and cherry bomb than he did with his other mount. Okay, I wish I knew. He told me, and I wish I remember. Like, this was a while back. It was a couple weeks ago. Now, does this make sense? Maybe. My vote for this is maybe it does. Do I believe him? I mean, I have no reason not to. Random internet anonymous person? Yes. Do I have a reason to doubt him? I don't know if I have more reasons to believe or doubt him. I'm kind of like, okay, this is what he's saying. He didn't seem like he had an agenda. Is the cherry bomb more restrictive than a bare muzzle? Probably. Does the cherry bomb and Plan B fit into the Resonator K differently than the Phantom QD muzzle brake I used in the tests? Yeah, it probably does. It does, I think. Does it make a big difference? I'm really not sure. So I'm just bringing this up. This is that first case. I'm not sure it's a huge difference, but this is a case in which the way the mount is sized and located in the silencer, forward and aft, like forward and backward. Forward and aft is the term. Toward the muzzle, toward the breech, forward and aft. The way that it's oriented there, like how far forward is it? How far aft is it? Is that going to change the back pressure with the cherry bomb in the Resonator K? Where does the gas need to go in the Resonator K to be normal? Where does the gas need to be injected, and how does the gas need to be injected into the Resonator K to be similar to the Phantom QD brake with the YHM mount?
You know what I mean? Jelly bean? It might be that the flow rate through the muzzle device is affecting it, but it also might be the way the muzzle device fits into the silencer. With the plan B, I don't know. And for that matter, what about the YHM Kurtz mount thing? Does that change it? Is that different? I don't know. I don't know. Does it make it have like less flow area to take advantage of? Does the flow get impinged? Or I'm sorry, is the flow impinging on something? I don't know. So that's case one. Case two, Surefire SOCOM 762 RC2. Three-prong flash hider versus the solid muzzle brake thing that has a little bit of small ports and stuff. Dude. Guy shot it on his AR-15. Now this guy, he and I have talked for a minute, for quite a long time on the internet. I've never met this guy. Could be a serial killer for all I know. Could be a piece of human garbage. Don't know him. Have talked to him a lot. Seemed like a pretty knowledgeable weapon dude. I don't know. It's one of my internet gun friends. Sometimes that happens. Get to talk with a person, get to know him, talk to him. That's what I do. It's something I do. So one of those dudes. He follows me. We talk. I don't think he remembered PEW Science. Don't care. Shot the SOCOM 762 RC2 on his AR-15. Direct impingement. He shot on his piston gun too. Shot on a bunch of different guns. He got higher back pressure with the SOCOM 762 RC2 than he did with the Q Thunder Chicken. That was a little odd. He told me about it. I was like, what? At first I was like, did I misread that? I was like, that's weird. So we talked for a while. I was like, okay. I was like, am I wrong? It's weird. Turns out they put the flash hider back on the weapon and the weapon was fine. Meaning that when they had the brake on it, like the weapon almost didn't function right. How's that for an anecdotal report? Internet, land, PEW Science fans, podcast listeners. That's like really concerning to me. Like really concerning. My tests showed that the silencer has super low back pressure. Okay. I had no idea that the flash hider mount was required for that. I have not talked to Surefire about this. This is like hot off the presses. This happened last night, dude. Like, this guy's, and look, admit, sample size of 1, anecdotal report. This is an Instagram dude. I don't know this guy. But, I don't know, man. He's saying that using the brake in the silencer made the silencer had significantly different back pressure, so much more that the back pressure was more than the Thunder Chicken on the same gun. What? Guys, that's way more than my test show. You've seen my test data. That was super concerning to me. I almost we got to talking and he was so sure. I was like, okay. First I was like, okay, so same weapon, right? He's like, yeah, same weapon. I was like, okay. I was like, same day? He's like, yeah, same day. I was like, okay. Weapon wasn't adjusted differently, right? He's like, no. Okay. Same ammo? He's like, yeah, same ammo. I was like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean higher back pressure? Well, how are you reporting this? Like, well, the ejection was harsher and the brass went further and there was more gas in my face. I was like, yeah, that all seems like there's higher back pressure. Yeah, those are symptoms. Okay. Then I was like, and this guy was like, he's actually like, whenever we've talked in the past, he's pretty on point. Everything from the firearms industry to different weapons we talk about, different silencers. His experiences usually jive with mine. So I'm we've kind of built a rapport over a year or so. And so I was thinking although I don't know him personally, so I'm thinking to myself, this is a big deal because this is I went and I said, well, I'm going to go to my the SOCOM 762. I'm going to click on that right now. The review there, pewscience.com. Let's go down to figure 7 and look at the back pressure, what I put out to the world there, published, and I see there that the back pressure is normalized to the Thunder Beast Ultra 9. And then I see that the SOCOM 762 had 17%
of the back pressure metric of the Ultra 9. And then I look at the Thunder Chicken, and it had 71%. So I see on my chart, I see the Thunder Chicken has way more back pressure than the SOCOM 762 RC2, which would make sense because the Thunder Chicken is very long and isn't ported as much and isn't designed for super, super low back pressure on gas-operated weapons. The Thunder Chicken is a freaking 300 blackout silencer. Okay. As far as I'm concerned. And so when I see my data, and believe you me, have I tested these silencers multiple times. When I see my data, the Thunder Chicken sits on a cherry bomb. It's a long silencer. It's not ported as much. Then I see the SOCOM 762 RC2 developed by Surefire purposely to reduce back pressure on gas-operated weapons. People report using it on a SCAR, a possibly super back pressure sensitive weapon system, saying to me, Jay, it works. And then it's people using it on a Knights Armament SR25, saying, Jay, or whatever rifle, whatever the 7.62 Knights rifle they use it on is, they're saying, yeah, it's the only rifle silencer we can use on there because the back pressure is low enough. People that kill people with the rifles tell me this. When they tell me this, I say, okay. And so when I looked at my data that I got, I was like, oh my God, my data makes sense. That's so great. Like, that's helping me understand the hypothesis. Is it confirming it? Well, not quite, but it is consistent with it. So that's good. So then this guy, very credible, and he has a shooter that's he might be a law enforcement shooter, maybe a SWAT guy shooting this with him. So he's pretty credible. He's saying, well, we're seeing the Surefire silencer to have higher back pressure than the Thunder Chicken. I say to myself, really? And then he showed me the screenshot of the text messages where he talks to the guy, and they're talking about the mount, and the guy's telling him, well, yeah, but I changed the mount. The brake makes it the right. This rifle barely even works with the brake. I put the flash hider on there. The back pressure is fine. I said, what? Like, at first, I breathed a sigh of relief. And I said to myself, thank God, because I'm about to have some splaining to do. Because, look, I know I could be wrong, but, knowing you could be wrong and then hearing that you are wrong is two different things, right? It's going to be an ego hit. So I'm thinking to myself, this is last night, I'm thinking to myself, damn, am I retarded? Okay, look, I know I'm a little on the spectrum, but have I missed a gigantic problem here? Because, it's not like he was like, oh yeah, the Sandman TI or something like that had a slightly different, well, for the record, the Sandman TI and the Thunder Chicken had the same back pressure metric as far as my computation went. So it's not like he's talking about one of those silencers. No, he was talking about the Surefire versus the Thunder Chicken, two silencers that couldn't have more different back pressure. I mean they could have more different, but they're on the two opposite ends of the spectrum back pressure wise. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, down is up is down, cats, dogs living together under one roof. And so it got my attention. But we solved the issue. Turns out it was the mount. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about this, though. I'm a little bit concerned that the guy was lying to me. And I have no reason to believe that he was lying. I do sometimes, when people talk about Q stuff, in a good way or a bad way, he oftentimes says good things about Q stuff. He's anonymous, so he's probably not even gonna know I'm saying this stuff. He says good things about Q stuff sometimes. So I thought to myself at first, I said, is this guy just trying to tell me that a Q silencer is better than a Surefire silencer because he's a Q fan? That's what went through my head. That's how bad the silencer industry is with gossip and favoritism and bias. So I'm is this guy? Because I get that all the time. You know how many people message me talking mess about silencer companies and saying how like, oh, so and so sucks and this is trash and I'm team blah blah blah. I'm like, I get fed up with it because I'm just like, I cannot deal with it. Like I don't have time for that stuff. It's stupid. I'm concerned with performance. I don't care about politics. So when the reason I'm concerned is because what I don't want to have happened is he reported this not backward, but he's like overstating something so that all you people with Surefire brakes freak out and like throw away your brakes. What I want you to do is if you have a Surefire brake and you don't have a back pressure problem, let me know, please, and let me know your weapon system. And if you do have a problem, if you like, let me rephrase. If you are using a brake with your Surefire 7.62 RC2 on a 7.62 gas operated weapon, or even a 5.56. I'm sorry, if you're using it on a 5.56 gas operated weapon, if you're using this silencer where on a host and you have a back pressure report to give it to me. Email tech@pewscience.com. I want to know exactly what mount you're using. I want to know exactly what silencer you're using from Surefire. Okay. Because I need to know what's going on, and this is crazy. Because you need to understand the gravity. If this guy's telling the truth, if you change the mount from a freaking 3-prong flash hider, the one that's sitting on my desk right in front of me right now, if you change it to the muzzle brake, if what this guy's saying is right, and you basically, what kind of factor increase in back pressure would that be? I don't even know how to calculate that correctly because it might not be linear, but what I'm like, if it brings the back pressure up to a level that I've computed for the Thunder Chicken, we got problems, guys. We got a big problem, and we got to tell Surefire so they can tell people, or we got to like put a post about it, or like we got to do the test. Maybe I got to do this test. Like this is important. Like I can't have people looking at my data. And although the back pressure metric is preliminary, that type of conclusion is crazy. And if I gotta say now I'm scared. I gotta go on the website. I gotta say I gotta put a disclaimer in there and be like, this is only valid for this mount that was tested. I mean, I know that goes without saying in hindsight, but it's like, oh my God, like, do you think that's real? Like, do you think this guy's telling the truth? I think he might be. I have no reason to doubt this guy. So I'm like, dude. Is he just talking mess? And once, because there's a lot of people who hate Surefire, but there's a lot of people who hate Q. And there's a lot of people who hate Dead Air. And there's a lot of people who hate CGS. And there's a lot of people who hate Silencer Co. There's a lot of people who hate Thunder Beast. You know that, right? Like for every person that thinks these guys are awesome, whatever company it is, there's another person who thinks they're clowns and they don't know what they're doing. And as the internet says, they're trash. And usually they're completely off base, but sometimes they're probably right. So yeah. So is this a case of like the plan B? Is this just the way the mount's fitting into the silencer? Maybe the silencer's closing off some of the flow through the brake that needs to be there compared to the 3-prong flash hider. I don't know. I don't know. But see, this is a Surefire mount in a Surefire silencer. Dang it! And so you would think Surefire would have not let that happen. So I'm confused. I'm like, that can't be right, dude. You think that's right? I don't know, dude, but I was like, you know what? I got two choices. I can shut up about this and not tell anybody that he told me that and just wait till I do the test and I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. Or I can just say something right now and we can get some anecdotal reports and maybe I don't even have to do the test. I can be like, dude, like everyone knows and we're done. Because doing the test and doing the computation and stuff, when I've already tested the silencer, frankly, like I got other silencers to the test that I haven't tested. And frankly, those are on the list first. And like, I don't want to take up more time on this one silencer. Unless it's like one of the most important things ever, and like the amount of people that are using brakes with the SOCOM 762 RC2 are so numerous that like if I don't say anything now, then like we're doing a disservice to the community. You know what I mean? Like I have no way of knowing what the fraction of the population is that this is important. You know, you understand? My gut is that it's more important to get more silencer data out than it is to retest the silencer. Like if I had to choose and like allocate time and resources. Understand? Okay. I think I'm just talking really fast, but it's late. Okay. So now, again, I have no choice. I have to tell you all to take all the data on the website as only applicable for the mounts that are shown tested. You notice that. I don't know if you guys noticed. Do you pay attention? You pay attention, but I didn't mean that to be rude. What I'm saying is when you look at the reviews on the website and you see the suppression rating graphic and you see how I list the mount that I used, I did that because I want to make sure everyone knows like this is a specific configuration. I don't know how many times you'll ever see a test of anything with all the configuration data listed. Like I can tell you right now, like I'm doing this for real. So that's why I'm doing that. And it's a good thing I did. Oh my God. It's a good thing I track all this crap. What if I like forgot? I was like, I don't know what mount I used. That'd be really bad. On one silencer I tested that I haven't even released yet, I almost didn't write down the mount, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to write down the mount. And I was thinking to myself, like, and then I thought later, I was like, that wasn't going to be that big a deal. And now I'm like, oh my God, you bet your sweet ass it was going to be a big deal. Oh my God. Could you imagine not having what mount I used and then like not knowing it and like not tracking it and then like publishing the data and then now it's like, is it almost worthless? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm learning so much. I'm like, this is terrifying. So like, I'm sorry that like this is happening, that mounts affect sound maybe, but and back pressure. I mean, that's a question too. Is it affecting the sound? It's like, I don't think so. And that's the thing about this. Like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think it's going to affect the sound that much. I think it's going to affect the back pressure. I think you can affect back pressure without affecting sound. In the silencer, that is, I think with a given silencer, I think you can change the silencer inside and change the back pressure, and not change the sound. Perceptibly, maybe. But I think that, you know what I think? I think that maybe, this is really speculation, I think that maybe we might measure a sound difference, but I don't know if it's be very perceptible. The question is on this one, if the back pressure is that much different, is the sound that much different? I don't know, dude. Still crazy to me. I mean, if any of you can corroborate this, please. tech@pewscience.com. I will say, I just got sent a SOCOM 762 RC2 from a very generous industry party that will remain nameless. Just so you know, guys, moving forward, I'm going to be getting silencers to test. I will not be telling you where I'm getting them from. We have a significant industry behind the scenes. Let's just say, to protect a bunch of people, we are getting silencers covertly, and we're going to be testing them, and that is just how it's going to happen. I mean, we're to that point now. Like, PEW Science is getting bigger, and there's a lot of people who do not want PEW Science to test silencers, and so, but they can't stop PEW Science because we are completely independent. So, in order to protect our members and the public and all parties involved, we are not disclosing sources where we receive the silencers from. Okay. But I did just receive a SOCOM 762 RC2. I just looked at it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And you know what? I was thinking about buying one, and this is not mine, believe me. So I was just sent this. It's Form 3 to PEW Science. So I guess technically PEW Science has it in its inventory, but it is on loan from somebody. And I do have a 3-pronged flash hider on my desk, so I have that. So really, all I need is a brake. If I was going to do this test in the next test program, I could just buy a brake. I really don't want to buy a brake because I would never use it. So maybe someone will send me a brake, and then I'll test it, and then I can send them their brake back or something. I don't know. So I don't know, because I might want to do that. And you know what I might do? Well, we don't have to go into that, but yeah, I might just test the brake. You know what I was thinking about doing, guys? I'll say it. I was going to test the brake with no silencer on it. You know what I'm saying? And then then measure that too. But the problem with that is the wave shape is a lot different. Is that going to make it weird? I don't know. We're getting off track. Anyway, that's going to be some good data if we can do it. Okay, we're going to move into the last topic 5, at a time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 43 seconds. Okay. Topic 5, welcome to new PEW Science members. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much. You're so patient. You're so kind and generous, and you've all been really great. PEW Science is gearing up for another round of testing, and we have some things, like I just mentioned, the Surefire just got delivered on a Form 3. I got a lot of stuff today, actually, in the mail from a gracious entity. I'm like silencer rich. Like, it's not even... I need a bigger safe. I need another safe. I need a PEW Science locker. I need some kind of like inventory system now. Like Amazon has those packages, like little robots that move stuff. I'm not getting like that, but I do need some kind of organizational system. Oh, the joys of the business. No, but we're getting a lot to test, and the important thing for you to know as a PEW Science member or PEW Science someone with PEW Science interest or podcast listener that's interested in the test data, important thing for you to know is that there are industry entities that are helping PEW Science acquire things that otherwise might be difficult to acquire. It's very good. It's very good for PEW Science. It's very good for you. For anyone interested in this test data, I can assure you, this is what you want to be happening. We are getting silencers. Like, I know I told you I wasn't going to tell you where I'm getting them. We're getting silencers that have been purchased on the market by people. Meaning that these silencers are legit. They are not sample units. They are not demos from a manufacturer to sell them. These are something that a consumer would purchase. You feel me? Yeah. We've been very careful so far. Every silencer that you've seen results for have been like that. Okay, except for some prototype. No, that's not true. The CGS prototypes that we tested, those are prototypes, but I don't know, man. The 3D printed, I don't have a reason to think they would be different than the production ones. I don't know how that would be true. Yeah. So I mean, the level of cost plus like they sectioned them and showed me that. Yeah. So other than those, and other than some other internal R&D program stuff that you'll probably see, these are actually legit ones. Like the actual models were purchased. So like you're not at risk of getting like a ringer or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's a trick, right? You know that. Like in the silencer world, like in history, that folks have changed silencers. Like before having them evaluated by companies and entities. Like they've produced special ones with like tighter bores or something, depending on the weapon, that they would never give to a consumer because the consumer would be at a higher risk of baffle strikes, for example. Like, that's not one company, dude. That's like a bunch of companies have done that. So like, that's a dirty little secret that you're never going to hear anyone talk about, and I'm never going to tell you who ever. But I'm just telling you, like, that's what PEW Science has to deal with. PEW Science has to deal with, and most companies are really up and up, dude. They really are. Most companies are really great. I mean, there are so many great people. Like, I'd say don't worry, okay? But there are some big ones that have been known to be a little bit of trickery there. So you got to be careful with those guys and how. So that's good, but that this is a golden age. We're getting silencers. It's so it brings me back to the thing I said in the intro in the podcast today about the stock market with GameStop. Even if you're not into investing or the markets, or you don't understand that, it's fine. It's like not many people do. I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm very retarded. And so
Well, it's all about like the golden age of information. Like the more information you have, the knowledge is power. So I feel like even with the stock market, you're seeing those institutional investors freak out when they did some not unscrupulous, but they took large short positions in a company, thinking that they were going to profit off of some like bad thing, and then when they saw retail investors like have faith in the company, they want to then manipulate the market to make the retail investors lose their money. Why? Because they didn't get to take advantage of what they usually do, and they get all mad. Yeah, why? They lost control. That's what happens, and that's why people get upset. People get upset when they lose control. And that's what happens in the silencer industry. People get upset when they lose control. When they can't control the flow of information, when they can't control the narrative, they get upset. And that's not only the silencer industry, that's the financial markets, that's the NBA, that's political campaigns, that's Walmart, that's anybody, that's you. That's you and your business. If you're listening to this and you run a business, you can't control the information about your business. You focus on what you can control. You control what you put out. You control what you do. You control your product. It's the best you can do. Okay? And I feel that the best the silencer company can do is make a good product and take care of their customers. And I'm here to tell you, there are tons of great companies, and they're doing that every day. Okay? So we're living in the golden age. We are living in the golden age of silencers. You have more choices than you ever have, and it is a wonderful, wonderful cornucopia of greatness. It just really is. The technology advancement is becoming real. We're separating the really innovative stuff from the stuff. And consumers are getting that information, and I'm going to continue giving it to you. And I'm glad to be here. It's going to be awesome. Okay. So today, a couple of you folks joined. Today's Tuesday. A couple of you folks joined today. I have not had a chance to send you welcome emails yet. I'm going to try to do that before I go to bed, but it's getting late. I might have to just do that in the morning with my coffee. I think you guys are awesome. Your support means the world. So thank you. Thank you for joining. That's really great, man. Even now, more people joining. I guess there's more of you. No, the more the better. Like I've been very pleased. I've been very pleased with folks, and you guys reaching out to me and say, hey, you talk to me on the internet a lot, and I felt guilty, so I joined. I said, don't feel guilty, but thank you. I don't want to guilt you into anything. That's dumb. But thank you. I do sincerely thank you. Now, if you folks have any suggestions for guests or podcast topics, email tech@pewscience.com. Some of you have asked me to cover some topics, and I will certainly do that for you in the future. I think getting more suggestions will be good, so we can build a good question log. I think maybe, you know what? I think maybe now that if we can all stay COVID free, I think maybe answering your questions with some industry people. I mean, Skype calls are okay, but man, I want to be in person. There's nothing like in person. I think answering some questions with some industry people on the podcast would be dope, dude. That'd be so cool. So I'm going to try that. So have a great week, guys. Please stay safe. There's a lot of things to worry about, I think, according to the news. So stay safe out there, and I will talk to you folks again soon. Okay, bye.